Hey y'all, I'm Kara, mom of 2 and vanilla Dr. Pepper addict.
And I'm Danielle, homeschool mom of 3.
Welcome to the 30ish podcast.
Welcome back, season 2, baby.
Season 2.
Whoop.
We are so excited. So a lot has changed since last time that we spoke with you guys.
Yes, I'm no longer pregnant.
Danielle is no longer pregnant and baby Emery is earthside.
Yes, she's 2 months old now, which is just crazy because it feels like I just had her.
Yeah, it really does.
Time flies when you're on the boob.
In the newborn haze, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's perfect. She looks just like Danielle's oldest daughter, Kennedy.
They do look a lot alike. We just finally started putting Emery's room together. And we found some pictures. It's Kennedy's old room. So we found some pictures of her as a baby. And she's like, I look just like Emery.
Aww.
And I was like, actually, Emery looks just like you.
Yeah.
And she's like, right, because I came first.
That's right. That's right, Kenny girl.
So she takes her big sister role very seriously.
No, I'm glad.
But only to Emery, not to Grayson.
Yeah. It's different between a boy and a girl.
It is. It really is. So what have you been up to, Kara? Big life changes for you as well.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. If you listened to us last season, you know I'm a very within my comfort zone type of person. I'm going to stick to what's comfortable or sure or known. And actually in one of the episodes, I was listening back and Danielle was really pushing me to get outside my comfort zone. I was pretty unhappy in the job that I was doing. I'd been a teacher for the last 3 years and loved teaching and loved my students, but just felt like it became more about test scores, to be honest, than being able to teach the way I want to teach or for the reasons that I wanted to teach. And so started applying for different positions. Excuse me, goodness. And ended up finding one with the state of Tennessee. And so it's a much better opportunity. It's going to be a lot better for my family. It's going to help us provide better. It pays better. So yeah, new job starting tomorrow, actually.
That's exciting. So you already have everything ready for it. You met the people that you're going to work with already. So that's good.
Yeah. So I had an interview. It was a group interview with who will be my boss and then a girl who's in the same position that I am just for someone else. So basically I'm going to be it's called an executive assistant. So I will be the assistant to someone. That's my whole position, is like managing their schedule and their time and travel and taking notes for them at meetings and that sort of a thing. So
well, that would be exciting. So you definitely knew.
Yeah.
Definitely
new. So got to meet them all and I have a lot to learn for sure, but I'm excited. It's gonna be a good change.
Yeah, so. I'm excited for you.
Thanks.
Other than that, I don't have a whole lot going on. Other than that, we started going back to our homeschool stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we've kind of been taking a break at first when Emery first got here, but we're back to like our extracurriculars, I guess you could say, and it's definitely a time management
I can't even imagine
thing. Well, it's like you used to give yourself like X amount of time to get out the door, and now I have to like give myself even more time, and then I have to be like, wait, did the baby eat recently? Because that's what I keep forgetting. I'm like, dang it, I need to feed her before we leave or she's gonna cry the whole way there.
Right.
Because she's hungry, and then we're gonna be late when we get there. But it's just kind of reconfiguring our time.
Yeah, no, it's a short period of time that it like lasts for and all, but it's so much within that. Like it really is just this haze of like all of these extra things you have to pack and plan for.
Yeah. And is she going to have a blowout in this brand new cute outfit that I'm putting her in?
Yeah, you just don't know.
The answer is yes.
I have been so just impressed with how much you've been getting out of the house and getting back in your routine and doing things. I told one of the girls at book club, I sound like a grandpa today. I did not go anywhere with my kids for a long time unless it was like down the street for a walk or something.
Yeah.
Because of the anxiety of just having to pack everything up and bring everyone there. What if she cries the whole time? And you've been just a rock star about getting out and about and doing all the things.
Yeah, I definitely like getting out of the house because then normally we're at least like outside,
Mhm.
which they always do better when we're outside. And then two, it's just like it gets a little redundant in the house every day.
Mhm.
So now that I'm not working and just focusing on this, it's like definitely helped with the juggling act. But yeah, definitely adding a baby
Yeah.
is a little more tricky.
Yeah.
I started planning out. I used to do this all the time and it really helped, but I have like a calendar or like a menu in our house, like a chalkboard menu, and pick out like what we're gonna make during the day. And I finally just did that this week, and it made such a difference. Like,
oh yeah,
just writing it down, because then you can like get the meat out or make, you know, it's like one less thing to think about and prep for. It's already just picked out.
I really need to do that, just like for grocery shopping's sake, of knowing, okay, here's the meals that I want to make and here's all the ingredients that I need, and go to the grocery store that way.
Yeah.
Even if it's just we eat the same 4 meals every week, you know.
I mean, we kind of do the same thing. And then it's like I have all these menu items, and then Grayson's like, I want chicken nuggets.
Right.
But at least it's picked out, at least everything for me and Tyler. And Kennedy's actually been doing a good job lately of trying new stuff, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll last, but
That's
maybe
good,
maybe it's her almost 6-year-old self.
Oh my
Becoming more
gosh.
mature.
Yes, both of our babies are almost 6. My son Nolan turns 6 a week from today, and I just can't believe it. In the last week, we've gotten him registered for kindergarten. He lost his front tooth. So has Kennedy lost a front tooth?
Just the bottom, not
Just
the top.
bottom, not the top. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had lost the bottom too, but the top is making such a difference.
Yeah,
you
their
look like
face.
a complete different child. And then he turned 6. So I'm surprised I made it through the kindergarten preview day without crying.
Yeah.
But it was really starting to hit me. I was like, oh, this is a big building. Like, what if he gets lost? Or
Aw, he'll be with his teacher though. They'll tell him where to go.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I saw the picture. They had like a balloon arch and everything. That was so cool.
I think so. They've got like a really good PTO there, and Ryan was laughing at me. I was like, do you think I could be a PTO mom?
You could.
They have a really good PTO program there, and the moms like did all of that.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I saw the picture and I was like, wow, like that was a lot of thought.
Yeah,
Went into that. Super cute. And it was just a registration night, or did they meet teachers?
It was like a preview day. So we toured the school. Sorry, let me get closer to the mic. I'm really bad about every time we record. I'm like further and further and further away. Yeah, so we toured the school. We met like all of the kindergarten teachers, but we don't know which one will be his teacher yet until the fall. And got to see like they have raised garden beds there, and they grow vegetables, and then they use those in the cafeteria.
Really?
And so the kids get like excited about, you know, getting to eat the things that they help grow.
Yeah.
It's a STEAM school, like science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Is that it?
Yeah.
I wanted to say music. And then,
It might be music actually.
I think you're right. I think it is math.
Okay.
But they have
sound off in the comments.
Please tell us. They have like stations that they do or whatever. Like one day you'll go to gym, and then one day you'll go to music, and one day you'll go to art, and we got to go in each of those classes, and it was cool. Nolan was excited because they were playing hockey in the gym, and he was like, oh my gosh, I want to play hockey.
Yeah.
So,
well, the gardening thing reminds me, I finally convinced Tyler that we can get one of those raised garden bed things.
Yes.
He's like, we really need to start making strawberries or growing strawberries, because all the strawberries we go through. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna be a gardener.
Yeah.
If you don't remember, I also want to keep bees, but I think I need a farm first.
Yeah. No, I don't think your HOA would be okay with the bees.
I mean, I don't know. My HOA is like only $10 a month, I think.
Wow.
So they don't do anything.
Wow.
They haven't even paved our road.
Yeah.
After they were done building all the houses in our neighborhood, they still won't pave it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. But I want to do strawberries. I think I'm going to do like some herbs. So like maybe dill, definitely mint. Because I feel like anytime I get mint at the store, I use it one time and then it is bad in like the next day. So it goes by so fast. But if I had it in my backyard, I could just pull it off when I need it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
You should.
I don't really have a green thumb.
Well, you should look up the ones that like grow well beside each other.
Yeah,
like, there's
that's
certain
true.
ones that are like symbiotic relationships or whatever, and certain things that you don't want to grow beside each other.
True.
I've never grown strawberries. We had a pretty big garden, but we grew lots of veggies. Lots of.
Oh yeah, didn't you have like a zucchini or something last year? Is it still there or?
Zucchini, squash, yes.
And I heard that one's durable.
Peppers, yeah.
Like hard to kill.
Yeah.
That's the kind of plants I need.
Yeah. Well, they all did really well. We had random things like pumpkin, tomatoes, lots of tomatoes.
My mom actually, in her front yard, not even in like a garden or anything, but she heard that you can if you leave your pumpkins out like after Halloween, like the seeds plant themselves basically, and then like it kind of decomposes around it, and they grew back the next year.
Wow.
Yeah, but like she lives in Florida, so
like a bunch of pumpkins or just one pumpkin grew back?
I think we saw 2 last year.
Wow.
But like they definitely got the leaves and like the blooms, but not necessarily like giant pumpkins or anything. But I don't know, that was crazy. So I was like, you're just in the middle of a Florida neighborhood with just pumpkins growing, like Cinderella.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so Pam's house has pumpkins if you want to go to the Pam's pumpkin patch.
That's the perfect grandma thing to have.
Yeah, we'll have to go there next year in October.
Yeah, right? Maybe they'll survive.
I mean, you never know. Crazier things have happened, that's for sure. But
so, being season 2, we are wanting to do more events.
Yes.
And things with the community. So if there's certain things that you want to see and do,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
We are planning a Margarita Chewies get together if you are local to the area. So just stay tuned on Instagram because we'll put more details out when we have the day and time secured.
Yes. Yeah, but we would love to meet you guys and put the face to the name for some of the people that we haven't met, and for you to do the same with us. What else was I going to say? Oh, can we tell them about?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to start bringing on some guests. So we're excited about that. That's something that we didn't do in season 1 and are starting now, is bring on guests who we really think that you'll be interested in their lives and the things that they're doing and their dreams and goals and how they inspire us. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes, I'm really excited for that.
I am too.
We have some good guests coming up, and maybe even the husbands.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be funny.
The both of them on one episode would be hysterical.
Do we think that Ryan will talk? He's more subdued than Tyler.
I think if we can get him going, sneak a drink in him or so.
We'll have a party.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Podcast party.
Podcast party. Okay. Any current events you want to talk about, Kara?
Well, I know there's one you want to talk about.
Well, I saw that Taylor Swift was at Coachella.
Yeah, and I told you I don't really know what Coachella is.
And I think that sometimes I question if we live on the same planet as each other.
I mean, I've heard of it. I know that it's a music festival, right?
Yes, it's a music
festival. And
festival.
It's definitely like higher end than Bonnaroo.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't really know very much about it.
It's like, I don't even know, because I've never been to it, but it's like the ones that celebrities go to. So it's like everybody has their outfits, and there's like a Ferris wheel that everyone stands in front of, and there's really big artists that play there. But I just thought it was crazy. I saw on Dumois that she and Travis Kelce were there.
I was gonna say, was Travis with her?
Yeah, so at first I just saw pictures and like a video of them like backstage, like people could see that they were backstage, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy, and like they're just there at Coachella, like who knew? And then I saw, so this is the part that's crazy to me, she was in the audience, or yeah, just like in a group of people, like she was just standing there, like everyone was around her. And the weirdest part is that if you watch Real Housewives of New Jersey, and you know who Teresa is, her new husband, everyone calls him Dirty Louie because he's like very creepy, and he's kind of like a bad guy, but he was standing right next to Taylor Swift. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I wish you watched New Jersey because
Yeah,
you
I
would
was
be
gonna
freaking
say,
out.
You're speaking a whole different language to me right now.
So it was totally crazy because, first of all, Taylor Swift just in a crowd of people. I don't think that happens, like, ever. Like,
was it all famous people around her?
no, it was
And
just
she
like,
didn't have like any security.
I think there had to have been security.
Yeah.
But she was just standing next to people. It wasn't like, you know, they cleared out
Swarmed
the
her,
area
yeah.
or anything. Like, she was just in the crowd. Like, random people just all around her. And I think that people were shocked and were just like, you know, frozen, probably. Yeah. And they didn't seem to, like, swarm her or anything.
That's what I was going to say.
Which is nice.
That's the surprising part.
Right, because I think that's why she doesn't normally go in big crowds anyways, because she doesn't want to cause a swarm or like a situation where people get trampled or whatever. But so people were posting this video of her like just in the crowd, and people from Bravo accounts that I follow were like, "Is that Louis?" And he's standing right next to her.
But it's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Him.
Yeah,
wow.
He finally posted something too that like he's like, "Hey," with her in the background. I don't know if he talked to her or anything, but he's standing like right next to her.
Huh.
It was crazy.
That is crazy.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, dang, I want to go to Coachella. Me and Emery.
Yeah,
we could have seen Taylor
I
Swift.
would love that. All right, I'm about to look right now. How much is tickets to Coachella?
I think they're like hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars.
Coachella tickets.
You've really like
You can buy them on StubHub.
Well, it's right now, so I don't know if you could still go. But she's clearly not going to be out and about again, I wouldn't think.
I just want to see the prices.
Oh, they're
Doja Cat
expensive.
is there.
Yeah. It's usually like a big headliner and then multiple, you know, smaller artists.
Oh, this isn't too bad. For the weekend, it's $500.
Okay.
It depends on what tier you're in.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Still a lot of money, but
Yeah.
not as much as I thought.
No, same. I thought it was going to be like thousands.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that. Did you ever watch that documentary, The Fire Festival?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it
Yes.
reminds me of.
Not quite the same thing,
Yeah.
but yes. That was like they
crazy.
were going to like an island or something.
Yes, it was going to be this whole like.
Submersive experience.
Yes, there's some word I'm looking for. Excursion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that guy who like did all of that, he's already out of jail and he's like
Trying to do
doing
something
new
else.
things. Yeah. Like people are just like, yeah, sure, you can raise money for
You're trustworthy.
yeah, you're totally trustworthy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But then there's like, you know, people who like got caught with marijuana or something and they're like still in jail.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah. Don't get us started on the prison reform system.
Okay, I didn't mean to touch a button.
Okay, so I started listening to this podcast episode yesterday. I sent it to you. The
Yeah.
Skinny Confidential podcast is what it's called, and it's a husband and wife. And I first
I think it was
followed
like him and her.
him and
something.
her.
Yeah.
Yes. So Skinny Confidential is her brand, and then I think him and her is like the podcast part of it.
Oh, okay.
But she makes like the ice rollers and different things. That's what she's known for. Anyway, and they had this girl on there. I wish I could remember.
I think her name was Mimi.
It's Mimi. I can't remember how to say her last name, and I'm gonna butcher it. But anyway, she is known for these like she calls them activations, but they're kind of like affirmations, basically, or mantras that you're speaking over yourself. And she had this whole idea of like visualizing yourself as the person that you want to show up as, or this future version of yourself. And I really liked that. Like sometimes I feel like I have to remind myself, like, this is gonna sound so bad, but like, Kara, you have a master's degree, or like, you know, you've been a mom for 5+ years. Like,
Yeah.
you have done that
Yeah.
hard thing. Like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
capable of doing other hard things. Like, I have to actually remind myself of that.
Yeah.
And so her saying like she wakes up and like thinks of the person that she wants to be and then presents herself as that person.
Yeah, she used the term future self a lot in the episode, which I thought was interesting.
And I think that's definitely going to be like a learning curve as I try to like implement that, because, you know, you're going to have insecurities and you're going to fall into your normal habits and that sort of a thing.
But one thing I thought that was interesting about what she was saying was that it's not so much about having like a morning routine, or, you know, you need to drink lemon water in the morning to get yourself going, and all these like little, I think that people are always looking for like this is gonna fix me, or this is gonna make me successful, or whatever. And I thought it was interesting that she was saying like, yeah, cool, do those things, but the thing that helps the most and the thing that's most like effective is just seeing yourself as that person. And whether you want to call it like manifesting or whatever you want to call it, I personally feel like that's a really true statement, because I feel like I do that without like knowing what it was called, or activations, whatever. But I think that's totally true, because that has helped me a lot, like in my whole life. Like I always am just like, yeah, I'm already that person. And sometimes people think you're like silly or like delusional or whatever, and it's like, no, like I'm gonna be this person. Like the person who has to believe it the most is me. Otherwise we're not gonna get there. Me and my future self aren't gonna get there. We don't get to meet yet if I don't believe in her.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and that's one thing that she kept saying is like, you only have one life. Like if you don't do it, it's not going to be done.
Right.
And I don't know, it just kind of like pumped me up and made me think about it differently. I'm glad I listened to it right before starting a new job. And I think a lot of it is just like at the root is believing in yourself.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're capable, but also kind of getting outside of that comfort zone. And I think that this experience of applying for this new job, and they interviewed 177 people, and for whatever reason they decided they wanted me, just showed me like I almost didn't go to this interview.
Yeah.
Because I knew that there would be people with more experience interviewing. And so I literally almost canceled the interview.
Yeah.
And I think I needed that like tangible sign of you're meant to do this.
Yeah.
Of like they saw something in me or my resume or skill set or whatever to want to do this. But she said something on the podcast of like some people are just so scared of uncertainty, and that we want to live in like what's certain. And that's so true. Like when we were building a house, for example, we chose the smallest floor plan because we knew we could make that payment, even though the next one up probably would have been, I don't know, $200 more a month.
Right.
And it's like you could have done that, but you lived within what was certain. And now I look back and you could kind of kick yourself and be like, we could have had one extra bedroom or whatever, but you can apply that for so many different things.
Yeah.
And like, you know, not to say go live outside of your means or whatever, but you're always more capable than you give yourself credit for, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
I definitely believe that. Because like, especially when you're like stuck in a rut or whatever, you just are like, well, this is my life now. Like it's easy to fall into that. And if you kind of refocus yourself and be like, no, wait, like, yeah, this can be a hard season or like whatever, but like the bigger plans I have for myself are coming. You know, so it's just like an easy reminder for yourself, like, okay, you got this. Like these are just little bumps in the road.
Well, and it's like a everyday matters type thing. Like you're making these consistent like muscle memory type exercises for your brain and for yourself of, you know, these things do add up and become something, even when they seem like really mundane in the moment.
Like, cause I think it's a good visual, like when you're on like a little path and it's like, okay, each stone, you know, before you seem so small, but then when you like zoom out, you're like, wait a minute, like look how far I've come, look how like this big picture, and we're gonna get there. Right.
And that's gonna look different for everyone. I think that in our 30s is a time when people start to look up and look around and go, well, they have this and they have this and I might not have that, because we're all kind of in different places at 30. Like some of us are moms, and some of us know that we don't want to have children. Some of us really want children, and
it just hasn't happened yet.
It just hasn't happened, or we're having a really hard time having kids. Some of us, you know, have a roommate and may live in an apartment. Some of us, you know, have our forever home in our 30s.
Yeah.
And not me, but some people that I know do.
Yeah.
And
it just looks so different on everybody. And it's so funny to like, when you think of, like, at least for me, like I think of certain people, and my sister and I were talking about this too, like how it's like, no, I'm I'm still 30, like, in my mind.
Mhm.
And, like, she's still 25, but, like, our youngest sister is turning 21. So neither of us can be 25 or 30 because
Right.
we're so much older than her. But, like, when you, like, just see someone you, like, have that age that you think of them as, and it's so different for everybody. Like, when I think of you, I think of, like, that you're just the same age as me, but, like, we're not the same age.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's so weird to see, like, siblings grow up, too.
Yeah.
My brother is 24. I think he'll be 25 this year. And I'm like, that is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, he should be just now graduating high school.
Well, that's Olivia. Like, she's our baby.
Yeah.
And she's turning 21. Like,
Yeah.
she really is turning 21. And Ashley's not 25. She's turning 30 this year. Which is weird
That's
because
wild to
I'm
me,
30.
too.
Because I feel like I'm 30.
Right. No,
But I'm not. I'm 34.
And I just always think that Ashley is so much younger than me.
And you're younger than her.
And I'm younger than her. Yeah.
Because you're turning 29 this year?
29 this summer.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I'm kind of just ready to, like, get that year over with and be 30. I like a
you have
good
to
even number.
enjoy each year, Kara.
I'm going to. It's just, that's not as fun of a number to say. How old are you?
It's just
29.
all how you say it. 29?
29?
You gotta be like Schmidt.
Yes.
Do you watch
gosh, New Girl?
Okay, yes. Tyler and I are almost to the last season right now because we're doing the rewatch, you know? And I feel like we're kind of like trying not to finish it because I
It's so
just
good.
love it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I know we've said that on here before, but like, it's just the best show ever.
Oh my gosh. Have you watched Suits?
Yes, I watched it when it was first out on TV.
Okay, so whenever I got this new job, Kristen, one of our friends in the group text, I was like explaining what I'll be doing, and she's like, "Oh, so you're Donna?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Wait, who's Donna? What is Suits?" And so I started watching it. I've been like hooked. I'm on season 3 already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love it. And it's so
good.
funny because, like, if you watched that, you, like, knew Meghan Markle before she became, like, Meghan Markle.
Oh,
like,
that's so wild.
yeah. So, for all of us who watched Suits when it was on TV, it was like, wait a minute, you're, like, a princess now? Like, what?
Right,
Like,
right.
What? What is it? It just reminded me. Oh, Lil Jon say, what?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'll never forget about that.
It's so funny. That reminds me and Tyler actually started watching, I think it's called Down Home Fab. That's what we're watching, but it's this girl Chelsea from Teen Mom. Her and her husband.
Oh, yeah, I loved her.
Yeah, it's a really good show. Like, she has such different taste, I feel like, than most shows that are on.
Is it like a home?
Yeah, it's a home renovation show.
Oh, okay.
And they're really good at it. Like, really good. And they always find, like, one little thing that's super, like, this one guy was a retired firefighter.
Mm.
So they, like, went to the firehouse and got, like, some old materials from the firehouse and, like, made it into a piece of furniture for them to, like, tie in his,
that's
like,
cool.
firefighter-ness. Yeah, I think that's, like, so cool how I love when people are creative like that.
Yeah, I don't have that bone in my body, but I love that. Also, in that podcast history, it said stop saying it about yourself.
Yeah,
that
you're
you can't
self-doubt.
do certain things.
Yeah. You gotta be like, I can.
See, I always thought that was like a strength of mine, that I just was self-aware and knew.
No.
I couldn't just, like...
You can. We're doing this.
I guess I've got to just learn how to do those things.
Say
like,
them.
if I'm like, well, no, like, actually do them. Like, if I'm like, basketball is not my strong suit, I would have to practice over and over and over to teach myself basketball.
Yeah. You are a little vertically challenged, but...
Well, that's what I was thinking, is usually I'm just like, well, that's not my strong suit. But I guess I need to rewire my brain a little bit so I can learn how to do anything.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. We can just lower the hoop for you, Kara.
Yep. I can learn physics somehow.
Well, if you want to, I have a show that you could watch. It's called Blaze. It's a little kid show.
It's going to teach me physics?
It does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it talks about, like, inertia and, like, quantum physics and all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, this is just a monster show.
Oh, wow. Well,
Or
I
a
guess I
monster
need to-
truck show. Yeah.
Maybe I
Blaze
need
and
to
the
check it
Monster
out.
Machines. Yeah, if you want to learn physics, you can watch a little kid show. I mean, Grayson, who knows? He might just be doing physics soon.
Yeah.
Today he was telling me all about the letter P because I was changing his diaper. And I was just like, huh, you're like really picking up on things that Kennedy is learning.
Yeah.
She's learning how to read still. And he was like, yeah, pee, Mom. Puh, puh. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, son. Very good.
Yeah. It's crazy, like, when you start seeing little things click with them.
Yeah.
It was funny. Yesterday we were at Target and we had to wait in line forever. I was buying Nolan's birthday gifts because he's turning 6, and they had this deal where it was like buy 2 board games, get 1 free.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I need 3 board games? No. Does he need 3 board games? No. But am I going to do it? Absolutely, because it's the deal. So I ended up buying the games. Well, get to the cash register. Well, actually, picked out 3 different things. Thought that they were all considered games. Got to the cash register. One of them wasn't considered a game. Well, then I'm not getting anything for free. So then I'm like, okay, well, hold my stuff. I'm going to go back there and get another game.
Yeah.
So then I've got to wait in this really long line after that. All said and done, the guy doesn't even mark one as free. So then I've got to go to guest services, wait in a whole nother line. So we did lots of waiting in lines.
Yeah.
And I was with my in-laws, but all that to say, my father-in-law and Nolan, my son, were playing rock, paper, scissors. And I look over and Collins, which she's only 1, is in the cart going with her hands, like doing her little fist on her hand.
That's
and
so
I'm like,
cute.
it's just funny how they notice like everything.
Yeah, because it's like you always think that your first kid is so smart, and they, you know, like Nolan's smart, Kennedy's smart, but like the second kid gets so much stuff like through like osmosis almost, just because like they're around when the older kid is learning it, and so they're like secondhand. That's what I meant to say, not osmosis, but
I knew what you meant.
But yeah, like secondhand learning, and it's just so crazy because it's like, wow, Grayson's a genius. Like,
yeah, well, they
just getting
pick up
it
on
differently,
faster too, because
and they want to be like the older kid.
Exactly. They're
So who knows? Emery might just be a little like genius.
She's been walking and talking and everything.
Writing symphonies.
Yeah, so soon.
If she believes in herself, right?
Yes, that's all she's got to do. She's got to
believe herself. Believe in
appear
herself.
as her future self.
Yeah, I do like that though. Appear as your future self. So my future self wants to grow the podcast and create a community and be rich and successful.
See, this is where I need to take pen to paper because I don't tangibly know. Like, I have these ideas, but I'm like, I don't know 100% of what I want that to look like.
Yeah.
And I don't know, in my head, I guess I'm kind of on like a timeline. Like, I'm like, okay, within 1 year, I want the student loans to be paid off. Within 2 years, I want one of us to get a new vehicle. Within 5 years, I want us to get a new house. And I put myself within that constraint so that I have like a goal because I'm competitive with myself.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, all in all, what do I want this future self to look like? I have this retirement goal, and Ryan always laughs at me, and I think he thinks it's like a joke, but I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, when we're old and gray, this is what I want to do. I want to open a bed and breakfast.
Oh, that's fun.
I know. I think it's because I grew up watching Gilmore Girls, but
love Gilmore Girls.
Yes, but I really think it would be fun to do. Like, get this old home and redo it, and it could just be somewhere.
You can have Chelsea and Cole come and renovate it.
Oh, Chelsea and Cole. That took me a second.
Yeah.
Cole's my brother-in-law's name, so I was like, you want Cole to redecorate?
No.
Yes, Chelsea and Cole could please come and help me. I need all the help. But I don't know that
fancy
that's
Gilmore Girls.
like so much of a thing anymore. Like
Bed and breakfast?
like there's Airbnbs and obviously hotels. And
I guess it would just be like dependent on where you were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think in New York City there's gonna be like bed and breakfast, but maybe in like a small coastal town. Like, I feel like the New England towns, there's definitely bed and breakfast up there.
I just feel like it would be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be.
Like, people stay for like a night. They wake up and make breakfast, and then you would just meet so many different people.
You would. You definitely would.
Yeah.
You might meet some weirdos, but you would meet some cool people too.
Yeah.
Well, if that's your goal, Kara, then I support you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't know that it'll actually happen, but it's always been in the back of my head.
Well, that's kind of what we're talking about. If you want it to happen, then that's what you got to visualize.
I just got to really be saving up for my retirement so that I can have my retirement goal.
Like, you're saying that you want to have X amount of money when you retire, so then you can go do that?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well, the journey might look a little different than you expect, but if you visualize that that's what it's going to be, then you'll make it happen.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's one of those things, like if you are looking, like when you want it, you're looking for it type of thing.
Yeah.
Like if you
like when
count
you get a new
yourself out-
car and then you see all those cars on the
Yes.
road that you didn't see before. It's like because it's in your mind's eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and you're going to just count yourself off and discount yourself if you think, oh, I can't do that, or oh, not right now, or whatever. But if it's something that you're planning for and accounting for, then you're going to seek out those opportunities. You're not going to turn them away because it's going to be like, well, that's already in my plan. That's already something I want to do.
I think maybe something that holds you up, you specifically, is that you put that I can't do this until I do that kind of stipulation on yourself. But if you just are like, no, the big picture is going to happen, it just like might be this way versus this way. You know what I mean? So maybe opening yourself up to a little bit of more flexibility in how you get to the outcome.
Oh, I'm
Does that make sense?
100% like very rigid, black and white. Things are black and white. They're right or they're wrong.
Yeah.
In the way that I think, for sure. I don't know like how I got to be that way, because you're first child.
Yeah, I am.
But we're definitely different. Have you seen like the eldest daughter things? Yeah. I was gonna say we're different eldest daughters.
Well, and then I have an eldest daughter too, and I look at her and I'm just like, I would never have done that.
Yeah.
But maybe I did. I can't remember myself as 5, so
yeah,
I probably was doing all of those things, being a control freak back then. But now I'm just not.
No,
I'm not a control freak at all.
You're not.
Like maybe when we're planning things, that's my one area I would say that my control freak comes out is when we're planning to go somewhere or like an event of some kind. I'm like, okay, I have to be the planner for this and I have to take charge. Even like in book club, I do that too, I think sometimes, because people will like throw things out there and I'm like, okay, well, if we want this to leave the group chat, then someone has to like take control of the situation.
Yeah.
And I do
it's
that.
A good quality.
I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but I do get the events out of the group chat at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do that with my family, and I don't know if they always are happy that I do that, but when we're on a trip, I think they appreciate it.
For sure. For sure. Well, and that's kind of something where, like, I was telling our friend Morgan the other day, I was like, anytime I see something fun to do, I send it to book club, because I know that they're going to do it. Like, going to Arrington, that didn't have anything to do with our book. It was in addition to book club, but it's something we would do. Yeah. But that's kind of something I want to start doing with, like, the 30-ish girls, too, of, like, oh, this is something fun that we can go and do.
Yeah.
How many of you want to go?
Yeah. And I think, too, at least for stuff like that, maybe sometimes you're like, nobody's going to want to do it. But most of the time, like, if you throw it out there, somebody's gonna want to go. Right. And then if somebody else is like, oh, I'm coming, then other people will be like, okay, I'll come too.
Right.
Kind of thing. So it's like a snowball effect of just believe in the dream, Kara.
And it was so fun.
It was so fun. I got a little more sun than I wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, I did not realize it was gonna be quite so sunny. We were worried it was gonna be like cold and dreary.
I know. I almost was like, let's do it the next day, because it looked like it was going to be so cold, but it was perfect.
It was perfect. I love going to Arrington, but
me too.
It's just like a nice outdoor activity. I'm just glad we're getting into. I don't love spring because that means storms, and I hate storms.
Aren't you glad that there was no storm though?
That day?
Yeah. No, the day that you
that I was really worried.
Yes.
Yeah, I was really worried. I actually went to Tyler's work because they had a basement. And took the kids there.
See, this is why, though, intimacy that people, well, a lot of people at least, don't get scared by the storms, is because so much of the time they don't even happen.
Yeah.
So, but I probably should be more scared and concerned. I will say that night I did clean out a closet.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, if we have to go somewhere, I'll put the nugget in here and we'll just sit in this closet or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I saw our friend Haley's reel with the helmets and everything, and I was like, oh gosh, I am like not prepared at all.
Yeah. Well, Grayson even knows now. He's like, oh, if there's a storm, I can wear my helmet and I can play on my tablet. And like he says that to me, and I'm like, hopefully I'm not giving him a complex, but at least he knows where to go, be safe.
No. Nolan always is like deathly afraid that things are gonna blow away. Like his toys and everything's gonna blow away.
Oh.
So if I ever tell him like that any sort of storms going on, he's like trying to bring everything inside of our house.
Well, I will say, as someone who's from Florida and is used to prepping for a hurricane, that's what you do. You bring stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
So like I put I make sure the kids' toys are all picked up outside so they don't blow away, or like I'll put the chairs in the backyard, like take the cushions off because I don't want them to get wet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like no one does that here, or at least like no one on my street. They just leave their stuff out. They're like, yeah. I don't know. It's just a different mentality.
We don't usually bring our stuff in either.
Yeah.
But he's like meaning like big things.
Yeah.
Like his like trampoline.
Well, I mean, my neighbor's trampoline flew away a couple years ago, and it landed where our house is now. So, and they still have that, or a different trampoline, but it's not like hooked into the ground. So it could definitely blow into my house.
Well, we don't have a big trampoline. I just got one of those like mini ones. It could definitely blow away.
Yeah.
But it's just like he's trying to bring things in our house that barely fit in the door.
Yeah. So. He wants to keep them safe.
Yes, it's very important to him.
Yeah, but it's just, I guess, everyone here just is like, oh, tornado? No big deal. And I'm like in the corner like crying.
I hope that nothing ever happens that impacts any of us like that. I can see how it would be scary. I think it's just I've grown up with it, like hearing about it all the time, to where it's like nothing. I won't say nothing has ever happened. Like there have been floods and tornadoes that have affected Nashville and different areas, but like nobody I personally know has ever been affected by it.
I think the thing that gets me the most is just that the way houses are built here.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them throw them up and it's like just a bunch of sticks, like I don't know if it's not going to compete with a tornado, let's just put it that way. And two, there are no basements. Nobody has a basement, like almost nobody.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until we started talking about it, but that is kind of a major difference.
Yeah, because I am from Indiana and everyone has a basement there. So they have tornadoes in Indiana, but like you had a basement. So like you had somewhere to go. And that's the part that freaks me out here. It's like, sure, I can prep our like safe spot or whatever and like hope for the best, but at the end of the day, like I still feel very safe in my safe spot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the part, especially with 3 kids now. It's like
hard to even fit in that closet. Yeah.
Well, that too. Our spot is the bathroom, like under in the middle of our house, and it has no windows. And like we can fit me, Kennedy, Grayson, and the dog, but we haven't had to go in there since Emery's been born. And Tyler never goes in until like he absolutely has to. And I'm like, we would make it work if it really was necessary.
Oh yeah,
but
you'd find a way.
But it's pretty small.
Yeah.
So
well, ours is the tiny little closet underneath our stairs, so it's pretty small.
Yeah, but also have to say, I am happy that it's springtime. We're getting out in the warm weather, and we're gonna bring everybody along with us.
Yes, I am so excited just to be able to do all the things for the pools to open back up and be able to play outside. We have Haitian neighbors on both sides. They're actually families that came together. They're like cousins, and bought the house on either side. And we just like joke with them because they never go outside during the winter. And so I've like started seeing them again. I'm like, that's how I know it's getting warm outside.
They're out of hibernation.
Because they're out playing with Nolan.
That's so funny.
But it like makes me think of summer whenever I see them all outside running around together, because it's like Nolan's favorite thing.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny too because especially coming from Florida, like the pools are open year round. Not to say like you can always go in them, and I definitely wouldn't want to go in your neighborhood pool in the middle of the winter. But it's funny that there's like an opening day for the pools and stuff. Yeah. So that is funny.
Yep.
But there's no opening day for patios, so we'll be there.
That's true. I know now that you're not pregnant anymore, we can do all of the boozy things.
Yeah. We're gonna do it. Cheers to that, and cheers to season 2.
Cheers to season 2.
All right, guys, thank you for listening today. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Kara.
And remember, we're all just walking each other home. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us every Tuesday for a new episode on Apple and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review and follow us on Instagram at 30ish_podcast. Bye. All right, guys, thank you for listening today. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Kara.
And remember, we're all just walking each other home. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us every Tuesday for a new episode on Apple and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review and follow us on Instagram at 30ish_podcast. Bye.